Hi guys, my name is Don Presno. I am the Principal Managing Consultant with TCG, the Collins Group. And I'm making this video just to provide some clarity over some recent questions uh, from clients and from some potential clients, I would say, of TCG. Well, let me start by saying this. I am TCG. I started the company right after grad school. I named it after my son, and his name is Colin. And we started out doing that was in 2010. So we've come a long way. We've seen a lot of ups and downs in the business. It was a hobby at first, but now it's becoming a full fledged business. Well, it is a full fledged business right now. We've seen a lot of growth over the past couple of months, I would say. We've seen phenomenal interest in the company. It's been a long time coming, but it's here. So what are we doing about it? And then another thing, what does our portfolio look like? Well, the major arm of revenue for us is consultations. We consult within the expert network industry marketplace, which right now I think it's like 860 million, but it's projected to grow to 5 billion in the next couple of years, if not next year. We, as I stated, consulting is the principal way that we earn money. We marketed that business over the course of almost a decade via word of mouth. We had a website, we took it down because most of our clients with NDA had an NDA associated with it, and our consultations 100% were virtual. So we had no need for a website. We had no need for brick and mortar. Okay, but since then we've added cybersecurity and as a service, threat prevention and protection as a service, and mobile app development. So software as a service, mobile app development. So we've added those in the process of doing so and consulting across the globe. We started out consulting with hedge funds and then private equity and venture capitalists just to fortify the decisions that they had, augmenting it with what we have with data science now. Went to grad school and after going to grad school to get an MBA, I went back to grad school attempting a software engineering degree, a master's in that, and then data science. So I'm still completing a couple of those things, and we're moving on. Got accepted as a PhD candidate in a program as well in the process. So the theoretical knowledge coming from higher education is there. So what we wanted to do is provide some practicality to the theoretical, because we wanted to differentiate ourselves from most large managing consulting firms that generally hire folks out of college with no experience. They just have a degree, and the brand takes care of the rest. For me, when I started out, I needed to have a degree, undergraduate degree, a graduate degree, and then 10 to 12 years experience. Then I became a consultant. So there's a difference. A lot of these companies we've interfaced with, they generally hire us when they don't have the expertise or knowledge in certain arenas because we're small. But we interface with a lot of companies out there that have a need. Most of the business out there is small to mid-sized business, not enterprise. However, what does that mean for us for a business model and strategy? And here's where the confusion comes in for a lot of companies that are seeking to take advantage of our consulting expertise. And that's the fact that when we tell companies that we are the size of our company and the scope of our size, where there's a big range, we started out one or two, and because the business has been cyclical, go up to 5 or so. But since then, we thought that we needed to be more agile, and we need to scale, be able to scale up to support some larger projects from enterprise customers So we needed to have the resources. So the best thing to do, rather than hire and have be inefficient in the process by having a lot of idled resources out there, that are expensive, we decided to partner with companies with those expertise, and the best way to do it is to outsource. So we found partners, and the partners found us. Mostly, the partners found us rather than us looking for them. So it really wasn't a happenstance situation for us, because here we were solicited for an opportunities, and we said, "Hey, Eureka! Hey, this is an opportunity for us to see what we're looking for." So this fell in our lap, and we went along with it. So, and it part of predicting is the unexpected. So for me, and the rest of us, we were like, well, you know what? The best thing for us to do is capitalize on this. So we have established a number of partnerships that we have listed on LinkedIn, and a couple of them that we haven't listed. But we're able to scale up from one or two, five, to all the way up to a couple of hundred to like 400, depending on the project and depending on the enterprise customer. And you know the IRRs look great for a number of these projects, and they're going to always look better when you're agile. You have less expenditures that you have, and our projects, the way we utilize our resources is more task based than managed. So we look at the tasks that are involved with the projects and the duration of the projects in order for us to allocate resources, because we look at everything as an investment, but we don't want to take on expenditures, unnecessary expenditures. So with that said, the the prospects for us going forward look great. We're very competitive. We have a competitive edge over a lot of the companies out there. Excuse me. I got a little choked up. Okay, but it looks great for us, and explaining that to, and providing some clarity to potential clients on our business model and how competitive it is. I think it's self-explanatory. We're not trying to obfuscate anything unnecessarily. We do have a need to protect some of our interests. So of course we're not gonna be that transparent. We're gonna we're gonna show what's necessary in order to, I would say, satisfy some of our clients' concerns, and potential clients' concerns. As I stated, it's a long history. We have a long history in data. I started out with AT&T information, a telecom, but most people think of us as the phone folks, but it's a little bit more than that. I was in transport, so we dealt with a lot of binary, we dealt with a lot of overlay technology, infrastructure, undersea cables, to switches, routers, to VPNs, to Ethernet, to wireline and wireless technologies, and backhauling. And so hybrid type of technologies that we dealt with. Security. We started out, we have a long history of security. You had to protect the network. So whether you're dealing with data at rest or data in transit, which mostly we were in transit. So not like we didn't have any data centers, but that's where it started. Even prior to that, I was conducted research on, in my early 20s. While I was in undergrad, I was doing antiviral research at the University of South Alabama, at Maston Eye Clinic. I was a research assistant doing antiviral research, herpes keratitis. working with Dr. Joseph Metcalf. I think we had a couple of things published in Journal of American Medical Association. So those are some of the things. That's the start, you know. So, but again, I spent um, 2.5 years, 3 years working in research, um, biomedical research. Spent 16 years at AT&T. You know, started doing sales and quickly jumped into engineering, where I was converted into an engineer and became a tier 3 technical manager and operations manager. And left there and started a consulting firm. Started the consulting firm while I was there, but then eventually left because I started a consulting firm in 2010, but in 2015 I started two Allstate agency. Well, I started one Allstate agency and purchased another. So I had 2 in 4 months of that year. So sold those. That's risk management. And so you saw data everywhere there. So the people who actually have been using a lot of analytics have been in insurance. You know, you can't. It's actuaries. So work with actuaries, underwriters. Start understanding what actuaries actually did. Chiefly work with underwriters as an owner agent. You had to deal with that. And so I got licensed in 2 states, Georgia and Alabama, and moved on to actually while I was still managing those, I had the TCG as a consulting firm, had the 2 Allstate agencies, and then I started working in risk solution and compliance. Started working with artificial intelligence, product coverage. Um, that was enlightening, and so that's when I started to really see the data science part of it, and I took advantage of the situation and knew that I needed to grow beyond what was being presented to me, offered to me at that particular opportunity, if you want to call it that. I just took the value from that experience and moved on, and knew that there was something else that I could add from the experience there and add on to what my history had shown for me. You know, so dealing with data. All along, I've been dealing with data and data science and cybersecurity. You know, and being in risk solutions, I worked in a data center. So with a couple of $1 billion worth of data in that center. So I did that. The risk solutions was a lot to stomach, and you know, and I started realizing the potential there. So I saw potential there based on that I could build on the other experiences that I had, and with data science being interdisciplinary, that's when I thought that, hey, here's an opportunity for me to enhance the consultations that I have with clients from hedge fund managers, where I started to private equity and then venture capitalists in the expert network, because all along I had a relationship with expert networks, and I decided to make use of it as for elevating what TCG could be, and it's been cyclical throughout the years. But like I stated, I wanted to. I used to fight with the insurance companies about the need to have be so brick and mortar, because most people don't pay their bills that way, and an agent needs to be out in the field and be mobile. So the virtual aspect of insurance was something that I couldn't change a business model that's been existing, which I thought that it was vulnerable. And I still think that some of these old business models are too stringent and too static, and they need to be dynamic. They need to evolve over time, and that's just the MBA coming out of me. And at the other end of the spectrum is seeing how I could do that with my own company. So what you see in TCG is agility, the ability to scale up from a small size with a couple of folks under 10, under 5 mostly, and to a couple of hundred, up to 400, and perhaps even more, depending on the project size, the IRR for the projects, and the enterprise. We can scale up to enterprises. So, and we've done that. So, seeing that prediction, that potential, I would say, and then being able to predict things and using data science, AI, machine learning, and understand what we actually need to do and to promote our business. I've since had this year, I've had an explosion of interest in TCG. I've had a number of meetings, uh, a lot of meetings, with a lot of multinational, global managing consulting firms, some of the most prestigious in the world. I've had consultations with with some of the largest companies in the world. I would say that. Even when I was a technical account manager, my client base was very large, and I had some companies with trillions of dollars under management uh, as clients, from insurance to Wall Street to transportation, even retail. I've had some of the largest companies in the world that I consulted with that were my clients. And I've had some of the largest companies, largest hedge funds in the world since at TCG. So being agile is part of our major part of our business model. Uh, adding to our portfolio, where principally we are a consulting firm, but we got cybersecurity, and again, we have mobile app development. Using data science to augment or enhance the consultations that we have with our clients, from no matter what the industry is primary to us differentiating ourselves. The other part of it is being practical. There are a lot of consultants out there that really don't have the broad scope of experience. They have a theoretical knowledge, but they can't marry that with the practical experience. Again, when I was in grad school in data science, I had a project that I was working on, just an example, and that project was in insurance. Of course, being an agent, I wanted to capitalize, a former agent and owner, I wanted to capitalize on my experience there. But as an agent owner, you are a part of the accounts receivable and marketing arm of a insurance company. And so if I'm studying everything and want to get the complete knowledge of how the industry works, given the preponderance of data that was presented, I needed the accounts payable. So I took advantage of the situation, and I wanted to go down there and go for training. So I got the practical knowledge, and became a claim adjuster. And that's the accounts payable. That's your losses as far as the books on an insurance company, for an insurance company. So I do have knowledge of that. I'm an independent claim adjuster as well. So I want folks I want to provide quality, and that's a key variable in data science, the data life cycle. And when you think about ingestion points into a machine learning pipeline, you want to have quality data. You want to be able to visualize. You want to be able to define the data. It starts with data visualization. I want to know just about everything. I was introduced to R, ggplot2. Now you're getting the Python side of it. So it comes full circle. If you are in information technology, and that's chiefly the industry that TCG is in, we are a consulting firm for information technology. That's what you need to understand, and we are agile. We can ramp up depending on your size and your project. But we have a lot to offer as far as expertise, and that came from experience, practical knowledge, not just theoretical. There's a lot of folks out there that can give you theoretical, but you can read that. I'm trying to get the practical to go along with that, so I can see correlations. I can see things that other folks just can't see. No matter if they're weakly correlated. I'm not looking for causation all the time. I'm just looking for how to give you the best information to help you make a better decision. I'm a decision fortifier. That's what I do. I fortify decisions. Whether it came from a couple of years studying the sentiment analysis and doing sentiment analysis of Facebook, which is another, which we did. So you're talking about insurance, you're talking about telecommunications, and you're talking about compliance, and you're talking about social media. 4 of the largest sources of data in the entire world. We can live with that, as a competitive advantage. We have experiences in all those spaces. So if you're looking for someone, you're looking for a company that can provide you with total risk assessments. You look for someone that can provide you with insights that feature the best predictors for an increased performance for your KPIs, then call us, because that's what we do. We take personal enjoyment in the information. So I'd like to thank you, and I hope you guys found some clarity in what I spoke about TCG, the Collins Group, and you can see that we're genuine. All right. Thank you guys. You guys have a blessed day.